All right, I think we're live. Now, where can I see my video? Okay, there's me. All right, hey, welcome. This is a new format I'm trying. Tim Ferriss does a 5 Bullet Friday email list, so I'm gonna steal that idea. We're gonna do 5 Bullet Fridays. Let me see who. So this is cool. I'm just seeing the new Facebook Live producer desktop here. This is fascinating. All right, so we're gonna talk about a few things that I've experienced, that I've learned this week, and what I really love to do is I just love to be a leading learner. That is to share things as I learn them, and I do this with my family. I'll learn something. I'm doing research for teaching my clients or podcasts or any number of things throughout the week. Where I'm going to be investing, learning about macroeconomics, all kinds of things, and I'm so excited to tell people. So that's what I want to bring to you is 5 things that I learned this week. And I think probably the most exciting on the list, and this might have actually come out last week, but it's been on my mind this week. Basically, the Pentagon has a UFO program, and they're going to start releasing more of that information to the public, which is super exciting. And they also said they're getting updates currently, like 2020, about crafts, UFOs, that are not of earthly origin, made off planet. So theoretically extraterrestrial. So if you've ever watched the X-Files, or if you grew up loving science fiction like I did, and fantasy, this is super exciting, very exciting time. So that's really big, and so all these things I shared links with. I share it to my email list. If you're not on my email list, I'll put a link. You can sign up for that. I do a monthly recommendation also, where I recommend books that I've come across each month, or YouTube channels, or other podcasts that I'm listening to. And hey, I see. So I see 4 people are watching. I wonder if I can find a list of who is watching live. This is a new interesting setup. All right, so number 2 on the list. I read a negotiation book by Chris Voss. It's called Negotiating as If Your Life Depended on It. It's a fabulous book. I recommended it on my recommendation email. And one of the things that I use most often, he goes through a variety of techniques, but probably the technique that I'm implementing the most in my normal daily life is getting people to say, "That's right," as in, "You understand me," rather than saying, like, "You're right, we should do that." They're saying, that's right. And what that's telling us in any type of working together to do something, negotiating to get something done, or persuading something like your kids to go to bed, or anything like that, is you want to understand them, so that then you can build the connection and start working together to solve your problem. So I'm always trying to restate, to actively listen and restate what they've told me, so that they will say, "That's right," and they feel understood. And then it opens up the door to making things happen and working together. So that's a fabulous book, and that happens to be the part of the book that I'm using the most often. That's called Negotiate as If Your Life Depends on It by Chris Voss. I think what I'll do is I'll post links to all the stuff that I'm talking about in the comments below this broadcast. So hey, 4 people are joining. Hey, give a little if you're watching live, give a little comment, or say hello, because I'm not sure who's watching live. So, all right, the third topic I want to talk about is digital detox. And we took a short little vacation to the woods. We got a little cabin, this place called Innsbruck, and the cabin was just surrounded by forest. It was so quiet. And it's been a long time since I've done a legitimate digital detox. And this is interesting, because as a digital nomad, I was always balancing trying to explore, right? Trying to do vacations. We're in a new country. We're going to spend half the day working and half the day adventuring, which is a great balance to have. You never feel like you're working too hard, but you also never get that full digital detox. You're still thinking about what you're going to try to accomplish that day in your 3 hours of productive time. And so this was the first time in probably a couple of years that I've taken a full digital detox, turned off the phones. I'm not taking any pictures, which is hard for me. Not recording my kids doing fun stuff. And, when I sat on the porch of this cabin and I just heard, the birds chirping and the insects and no car noises, no city noises, it was, almost more quiet than camping sometimes because there's really no other people around at this cabin. And it just felt like a big, heavy blanket. I don't know if you ever had like a really heavy blanket. It just kind of comforts you and soothes you. And it was almost like an extra layer of clothing or something sitting on this porch, being in such stillness in nature. And I'm in nature every day. I'm in my backyard. I'm in the park. So it was a really interesting experience having this full digital detox. And it honestly, it also made me very sleepy and sluggish. So obviously my devices are keeping my brain running all day long, and I'm thinking and strategizing and planning and working with people and collaborating and all these things. And just having a couple days where I wasn't doing that made me feel so sluggish and slow. And Heidi, my wife, was even asking, you seem like you're maybe upset or something because you're just not you're not interacting as much. And I was just in my own little bubble of Zen. So we did a little digital detox. I'm going to try to implement that maybe one day a week, like every Sunday, Saturday night to Monday morning or something, if that's possible. So what else are we going to talk about? Oh, Global Coherency Day. This is cool. So it's the last day of the month, July 31st. Tomorrow's August 1st, and tomorrow is Global Coherency Day, which means that all around the world, people are going to be meditating together and trying to, when you are in a meditative state, you create brain heart coherence in your own body. But if you can do that on a global scale, if we can get 100,000 or a million people doing this, you also create a sort of coherency among people. And there's, a lot of physics that relate to this. Tomorrow you'll be learning about the science with this physicist that I follow, Nassim Haramein. We'll be talking about how your own personal coherent state, your own peaceful meditative state, can combine to create a much bigger effect when other people are meditating, and how that all works. So that's tomorrow. I'm going to be doing it. If you want to do it, that'd be super cool as well. And you may have heard of the Maharishi effect. This was a study back in the 70s, I believe, where it was 7,000 people were meditating all at the same time, and they showed a huge global, statistically significant global reduction in violent crime, sort of across all nations and boundaries. And this was an extended meditation by a small group of people. So we've already shown the effects, the statistically significant effects that these coherent meditative practices can do. So if you want to participate, I can tell you what to expect. If you participate in this tomorrow, you'll probably feel like you're jumping into a river of consciousness. Every time I do one of these group meditations, these group prayers or intention settings, it feels like you're jumping into a laser beam and getting carried along like a river. It's amazing. Like you can feel everybody else all around the world doing the same thing that you are, and it feels like you're diving into a river of shared intent, of shared consciousness. It's pretty fantastic just to be able to experience that. So that's happening tomorrow. Wanted to bring that to your awareness. And let's see, let me just share some other cool little bits. As you know, I love stones, crystals, gems. I was a big rock hound as a kid, and I'm getting back into it, learning more about the different properties that these stones have. So I'll just share with you what I picked up this week. Got a new piece of amber. I don't know if we can get that to focus. If I can, let's see. So I got a cool piece of amber. There we go. So one is amber. This is Amazonite. And I'm learning how, crystals store information. Quartz crystals are used in all kinds of technology. They store information, and you can move thought information into quartz crystals and into water, and then use that as a store of information. Well, all kinds of other crystals have different properties, and it's largely based on the physics of the matrix of how the crystal is oriented. So there's a lot of interesting research into the crystal structure and what we can do that sort of on a level of how it interacts with our thoughts and with our consciousness. So obviously I'm just sort of playing around with having some of these around and experimenting with them personally. So this is lapis. You would recognize this from the Egyptian pharaohs. They used a lot of this blue and gold in the Egyptian times. This is danbarite with a thin sort of single element coating of gold atoms. That's actually what gives it that blue color. It's called aqua aura. I'm going to try to get it into focus there. So that's danbarite. And then I got these little pieces of quartz. I don't know if you can hear them well. They're called singing quartz. And I'll be using these in creating sort of group grid structures with quartz. So they come in these long, thin points. Anyway, so that's oh, and I got a cool piece of flint. Which is found a lot locally here. So that's some more of my crystal collection. What else? I'm working on a training program which is about if you can get the right people, they can get you the right opportunities you want in life. And this is something that I've worked on. I've done talks and stuff like this when I do networking events or things like that, teaching people how to network. But this is kind of the next level idea that I'm working on. And basically, you could grow an entire business using other people recommending your business. And so the idea is working on how to get this army of people that can, mention you on their podcast or their YouTube channel or bring you on their TV show or recommend you to their email list or all of these things. So it's like second level networking. It's networking with people that have distribution channels and influence and sort of what you might call, the heavy hitters or the people with gravitas and influence. So keep your eyes posted if that's something that you're interested in, either for business or other types of opportunities, collaborations or romantic things like that. That's something that I'm working on right now, is how to deliver that. I think it'll be kind of in a boot camp format where we'll build out your whole network over the course of 1 month online. We'll do it remotely. So that's another cool thing that I've been working on. So thanks for joining. Let me know if you like this format and what you found most fascinating. Personally, these are my interests. I love sharing them with you guys. And also I've got testing a new mic. I've traveled with a desktop mic, but I finally have the full boom arm. So hopefully, I think this is what's picking up right now. But this feels super pro after 6 years of podcasting to finally have a hands-free mic that's that's right here. So yeah, any feedback, any comments are welcome and appreciated. What you're excited about as well, please share. Also, if you have any questions, one thing that I really like to do is, I like to respond. So if you have any business questions, if you have any parenting questions, if you have any even spiritual, metaphysical, science questions, it's easy for me to actually come on and answer questions. almost more so than to just make this stuff up and share it with you. So thanks for watching. If you came on live or if you joined after the fact, and I'll try this for a few more weeks and see how we go. All right, have a great weekend, and have a great August, since it's the last day of July.